191 accounted for and 117 unaccounted for. And I want to remind everyone once again that our detectives are continuously auditing the list to verify all the reports of potentially missing people, and as a result, these numbers will likely shift. I'm in awe of the men and women of the USAR task force teams who've been continuing to brave dangerous and changing conditions for 12 days, fire, smoke, and now wind and torrential rain. They are continuing the mission and the search of the collapse area. They've worked under this great difficulty, and they have pulled shifts to rotate because that's how much they want to be out there searching. The first responders are the most frustrated by any delays we have experienced. Truly, they live to save lives. And they've pushed ahead no matter what is thrown in their way, and our community and the whole nation and world is forever grateful to them as we've watched them labor to save lives and find people. And as we're experiencing now the outer bands of Tropical Storm Elsa, we've seen this inclement weather and some tornado warnings across the county. So if you do not need to be out tonight, please try to stay home to avoid any potentially dangerous conditions on the roads. And I also want to remind our community that all county departments will be operating as normal tomorrow. I want to take a moment to thank all of you, the members of the media, for your own extraordinary efforts over these past 12 days. I know that reporting this tragedy and telling the stories of those who've been lost and those who are grieving is not easy for you either. I've spoken to you, I've seen it in your faces. I know that it's very, very personal for you. So on behalf of this community, we're deeply grateful for all of you. And especially, I want to mention the reporters at the Miami Herald and so many other journalists for the care and attention that they've given for telling the stories of these individual families and what they've gone through, the impact that it's had, and making sure that the world knows that they have lived lives that have now been lost, that we celebrate, that we remember. Thank you for helping to remind us of all of our shared humanity and making sure that these stories are not forgotten. Al final del día 12 podemos informar que hoy el equipo de búsqueda y rescate ha podido registrar todas las secciones del escombro, ahora que toda el área es segura para buscar después de la demolición. Y los equipos ahora han eliminado más de 4.8 millones de libras de concreto de la pila. Lamentablemente, el mal tiempo ha provocado algunas pausas temporales de trabajo, específicamente el rayo que nos obliga a detenernos por la seguridad de los socorristas. Gracias a los continuos esfuerzos de búsqueda del equipo hoy, hemos recuperado a otra víctima. El número de muertes confirmado ahora es 28, con 26 identificados, 191 contabilizados y 117 desaparecidas. A medida que experimentamos las bandas externas de la tormenta tropical Elsa, hemos visto inclemencias del tiempo y algunas advertencias de tornados en todo el condado. Si no necesita salir esta noche, por favor, quedarse en casa para evitar condiciones potencialmente peligrosas en las carreteras. También quiero tomarme un momento para agradecerles a todos ustedes, los miembros de las noticias, por sus extraordinarios esfuerzos durante los últimos 12 días. Sé que informar sobre esta tragedia y contar las historias de los que están perdidos y los que están doliendo no es fácil. En nombre de esta comunidad, estamos profundamente agradecidos a los reporteros del Miami Herald y a tantos otros periodistas por el cuidado y la atención que han brindado para compartir las historias personales de todas las familias afectadas para asegurarse de que el mundo sepa sobre las vidas vividas y perdidos. Gracias por ayudarnos a recordarnos a todos nuestra unidad compartida y por asegurarse de que estas historias no se olvidan. Muchísimas gracias a todos y que tenga una buena noche y segura. Gracias.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. National Weather Service, Robert Moyeda.
Good evening. As the outer bands of Tropical Storm Elsa continue to affect our region, we'll continue to see these scattered showers and thunderstorms move through the area. They're not going to be continuous. They'll be rather intermittent, but we will see these showers and thunderstorms move rapidly across the area as we go through the nighttime hours tonight and also into tomorrow. And we do expect the weather to gradually improve tomorrow, starting tomorrow evening, and back to our more typical summertime type weather by the middle of the week and by the end of the week. So we'll still have to watch out for some gusty winds with these passing showers and thunderstorms, and also some heavy rainfall, which could aggravate some of the flooding that's already going on out there as well. Mientras que las bandas exteriores de la tormenta tropical Elsa sigan moviéndose sobre el sur de la Florida, vamos a continuar viendo estos chubascos y tormentas eléctricas pasando de vez en cuando sobre nuestra zona, y estos chubascos van a ser acompañados por vientos fuertes y lluvias fuertes también, que provocarán inundaciones ya que están ocurriendo en nuestra zona. Y esto va a ser para esta noche y también para el día de mañana, martes. El tiempo debe de mejorar para mañana, empezando mañana por la tarde o mañana por la noche y continuando durante el resto de la semana. Gracias.
Thank you, Mr. Moyeda. Surfside Mayor Charles Burkett.
Thank you. Good evening. I'd like to share a few observations since our last discussion this morning regarding what's going on in Surfside. I've just come from the site and the afternoon family briefing. The site is busier and more active now than I've seen it since we began. There are, now that the damaged building is down, the site is staffed with a tremendous amount of search and rescue workers. The heavy equipment is now able to move around the site as needed. The looming threat of that building, the dangerous situation where debris could fall down, is now eliminated. So we're operating at 100% capacity, and I'm very excited about that. And I believe I sense that the families were too. Heavy equipment is now fully engaged and able to navigate over the entire site, where before they were very limited. Operations seem to be moving much faster and will continue 24 hours a day for the indefinite future until everybody's pulled out of that site. Lastly, the mayor said she was in awe. I join her in that awe. The Miami-Dade Fire Department, the Miami-Dade Police Department, our municipal police departments, all the volunteers, all the search and rescue workers, and all the support personnel have been absolutely fabulous. I've been out there all day long and usually late into the night, and I have not heard one complaint. On the contrary, I've asked them what they need, and they've told me over and over again that they've been getting everything they need. They have tremendous support, and I want to thank the Dade County Mayor for all of that, because it comes from the top, and we've got great leadership, and that's what's causing this rescue attempt to pull all these people out of there to be so successful. Thank you, Mayor Cava.
Thank you, Mayor Burkett. Miami-Dade Fire Rescue Chief Alan Comiskey.
Good evening. As stated, we're continuing our search efforts, beginning operational period last night and continuing throughout. We've had 2 stops throughout the 2 operational periods. We have all 5 of the federal task force teams working throughout in rotations, as well as we're offsetting with a Florida Task Force 1 and Florida Task Force 2. We've definitely been able to now have access to all the grids. So we've been able to primarily focus on grid B1 and D1, which was the most difficult, being where they were and basically supporting the building. So definitely made progress in those areas in our delayering. Still, with our methods and how we go through, but definitely moving, full speed ahead in regards to that.